A mechanic in Ohio got asked one simple question. Which tractor engine would you actually put on your own land? He did not name the brand that every neighbor already owns. 4 engines dominate what American landowners cross-shop today. One has a factory-documented flaw that nobody ever fixed. One sells that exact same flaw under a different badge at a higher price. One is quietly building parts of both of those lineups already under a name nobody asks about. And one is the answer mechanics keep giving when nobody is watching. Every single one is sitting on a lot near you now. Let us start with Case IH. This is a trusted name in American farming, and Case IH leans hard into that trust. They talk up their partnership with FPT, one of the largest engine makers in the world, and frame it as proof of solid engineering. Buyers hear that name and stop asking questions. That is exactly the point. Here is what they do not put on the brochure. On the bigger Tier 4 final case IH tractors, in the Maxim, Puma, and Magnum range, the pollution control system runs on a fluid called DEF, short for diesel exhaust fluid. That system has a known pattern. If it logs a problem 3 times within 40 hours, the tractor cuts its own power on purpose. This is not just a warning light, it is the engine pulling back power on its own, built right into the software. Independent parts dealers and diesel mechanics confirm this happens across the whole FPT engine family, not as a rare glitch. The usual triggers are a failing DEF sensor, a fluid pump clogged from sitting idle all winter, or a DEF tank heater frozen solid in cold weather. Buyer guides point to the early Tier 4 final years, right after the 2014 rollout, as models worth extra caution. This problem hits 2 kinds of owners hardest: anyone in a cold northern state, and anyone using the tractor lightly, doing yard work instead of full days in the field. Both situations make the fluid and sensor problems show up more often. So you end up with a trusted badge sitting on a pollution system that punishes light use and cold weather before it protects anything. If you have ever watched a tractor payment outlast the tractor's actual power, hit subscribe, because we are exposing exactly which badges are worth that money every week. Now here is the part that should bother you. New Holland has that exact same problem, and buyers pay more money to get it. Case IH and New Holland are both owned by the same parent company, CNH Industrial, but New Holland markets itself like a separate brand with its own history and dealer culture. Buyers cross-shopping, the two genuinely believe they are comparing 2 machines. They are not. Owners and mechanics in independent forums confirm New Holland's larger tractors, including the Workmaster and T-Series line, run the same FPT engines as Case IH. Same parent company, which gives owners little confidence once they learn FPT stands for Fiat Powertrain Technologies. Same fluid system. Same power cutback logic built into the software. This is not a New Holland fix for the Case IH problem. It is the same engine wearing a different hood badge and a bigger price tag. So if you picked New Holland over Case IH, thinking you were making the safer choice, you got the least value out of that decision of anyone watching. 2 nameplates, 1 engine, 1 identical flaw, and 1 costs more for it. Here is the real twist most buyers never catch. The small end of both those lineups is not even built by Case 1H or New Holland. LS Tractor has been quietly building compact tractors for CNH Industrial, sold under both the Case IH and New Holland badges, for years now. LS Matron has worked as an outside engine supplier to major tractor brands for decades. This comes straight from LS Tractor USA's own company history, not a rumor from a forum. A few examples make this easy to check yourself. The Case IH Farmall 25A and 25SC are LS-built machines, the direct match for the New Holland Workmaster 25 and 25S. The New Holland Boomer 35, 40, 45, and 50, along with the Workmaster 35 and 40, use LS engines and LS-sourced front axles. LS Tractor entered the U.S. market under its own name in the mid-2000s and opened LS Tractor USA in North Carolina in 2009. Most American landowners have still never heard the name, even though it is the actual factory behind machines they already trust and have already paid a badge premium for. LS builds a mix of its own engines and licensed Mitsubishi designs. One dealer's walkthrough of the LSXG 3025H points out something worth repeating. It runs a simple, mechanical 3-cylinder Mitsubishi diesel. No diesel particulate filter, no emissions electronics sitting there waiting to fail on you. Owner opinions across independent forums are mixed, like any brand, but they lean positive overall, with people praising how the engine and transmission hold up season after season. The one real weak point is a thinner dealer network, not the machine itself, so parts for loaders, blades, and other attachments can take longer to track down than with a bigger name. This is the pick for someone who wants the same build quality already inside a Case IH or New Holland badge without paying the badge tax on top. Just check that a dealer sits within reasonable driving distance first, because parts support is the one thing worth confirming before you buy. So the badge on the hood was never the whole story here. One of these two big names already sold you the same factory once removed, which brings us to the one mechanics who have actually worked the field keep coming back to on its own merits, with no outsourcing involved. Massey Ferguson does not come to mind first for most buyers, and that is exactly why it is worth your attention. This is not a badge slapped over shared corporate parts like the last two brands. It is a specialist build. In the subcompact GC line, models GC 1705 through GC 1720, and in the newer 1800M and 2800M series, Massey Ferguson uses engines built by Iseki. That matters because Massey sources engines from 3 different manufacturers, depending on the series. Iseki supplies the subcompact and M line, Shibaura supplies the compact economy range, and Mitsubishi supplies the compact premium range. This reveal is about the Iseki-built models, so ask for them by name at the dealer, because picking the wrong Massey compact will not give you what is described here. Iseki is the 3rd biggest agricultural equipment maker in Japan and has supplied Massey Ferguson's compact engines for decades. On the GC line, Iseki builds the entire tractor in-house, not just the engine. Owners who did their homework before buying report trouble-free engines well past the 100-hour mark. And mechanics rank Iseki alongside the most respected diesel suppliers in the business. The 1800M and 2800AM series step things up further, with turbocharged, liquid-cooled Iseki diesels that meet strict Tier 4 clean air rules, and glow plugs standard for cold morning starts, which matters if your land sees real frost before sunrise. Here is the honest part. This channel is not here to oversell anyone. Massey Ferguson's dealer network is thinner and less well known than Kubota or Deere, so parts and service depend on how close you live to an AGCO dealer. And because Massey splits engine sourcing by series, you cannot just assume any Massey compact has an Iseki engine under the hood. You have to ask for it by name each time. This is not some rare import-only find. It is sitting on a Massey Ferguson dealer lot in this country right now, and most buyers just walk past it without knowing what is underneath. None of this means the bigger names are worthless across the board. It means the badge alone was never proof of anything. A tractor, a loader, a box blade, or a brush cutter earns its price through the parts built inside it, not the decal on the hood. And the moment you start asking what is under that hood, dealers treat you differently too. So here is where that leaves you. Two of the biggest names in American tractor dealerships are quietly selling the exact same large diesel flaw under two different price tags. One of those same companies is already building the small end of their lineup through a factory most people have never asked a single question about. And the brand mechanics actually trust with their own land is not hidden at all. It is just sitting under a name nobody bothered to ask a dealer about. Next time you are standing on a lot, do not just ask what brand it is. Ask who actually built the engine. Tell us in the comments which badge cost you more than it delivered, because those stories are usually the ones dealers never bring up.